Hello, hello, hello. It's Dolly. Welcome to my channel, Scrapping on the Go. It's Friday, which means it's Mixed Media Frenzy Day with Krista, Kathy, Ronnie, Sue, Scrappy Sisters, Kathy, and myself. Each Friday, we take a sketch or a layout that we all scrap lift. And this is the layout that we will be scrap lifting today. All right, before we get into seeing the products that I pulled, I just want to let you know that I took lots of element ideas from this layout, which I will be sharing with you in a minute. I do want to let you know there was one thing from this layout that I didn't care for, and I will explain that later in the process. All right, here are some watercolor paints, some pigment ink paints, and I had some twine that I have, a photograph. I have this hexagon die cut, and then my 12 by 12 paper, which is Daisy White cardstock from Close to My Heart, and I pre-prepped it off camera using latex clear gesso. Now the next process is taking my various paints and applying it to my background. The first paint product that I am using is from Dylusion called Blue Hawaiian Paint, put out by Ranger. And I am using the packaging kissing technique, and I am kissing it to the background of my paper. I do bring in my squirt bottle and add some more water to get the paint moving. I also will use a baby wipe to tone down the color a little bit as well. And you'll see that shortly. Now, in the original layout that we are scrap lifting, the drips, the free flowing drips are a definite statement on that layout. I was not, my creativity was not really feeling that too much. So my drips are very subtle. And as you can tell, I am using different shades of blue, which are very subtle amongst themselves. Okay, you can barely tell the difference. So now the second color of blue that I'm using is from Shimmer's Paint called Oaky Bear Blue. It's an inkling. And I've had this little tiny jar in my stash probably about 8 years, I think, if Shimmers has been around that long. Whenever they came out with Shimmers paints, I was right on board. My point is, it is so vibrant and pigmented that it only takes a little bit. And why did I choose this to go with the two other paints that are more flat? Just for that reason. I wanted to add a little bit of sparkle, but keeping this layout, the background still somewhat masculine because it is a photograph with several little schoolboys with my son. All right. And then the next thing I use is Jane Davenport watercolor, and I use a blue from that paint palette that you see on the right. Then I go back to the Shimmers paint and I use that to create some splatters. And as you notice on those splatters, they're darker right now, but it does dry lighter, a little bit darker than the rest. See? So it dries a little bit lighter. All right, so I took my hexagon die cut shape and just placed it there on my background. And now I am going to double map this photograph. And this photograph, I do have permission from the parents of those children. Back when the photograph was taken, I told them I'm scrapbookers and it may appear on one of my videos, and they were fine with that. They've all signed releases from the school as well. But this photograph is 2 years old. This is when all these little boys graduated from fifth grade elementary and are going into middle school, or they are in middle school. So I have another photograph where my little guy, which he's the one standing up and making that L sign. They're playing around. He means no harm at all. So let's go back to embellishing this layout. So just like the layout or scrap lifting, it had 3 wood veneer elements to the right. So I mimic that, but instead of using all people, I use like what a house like to represent school, a boy figure, and a heart. Then that puffy, yellow puffy sticker that says good vibes, that is from Amy Tan. I don't remember what collection. And then these other puffy stickers come from Pink Fresh Studio called Super Cool. And it was from 2019. Now you can see that I have all these puffy stickers just cascading horizontally to the right, but I'm going to shift that. You're going to see I'm going to shift that so that it's more vertically along with that photograph. I tend to do a lot horizontally, so I scoot over vertically. Then that black sticker that you can hardly read the words on it says, if you're happy and you know it, which I thought was so fitting for this layout. And yes, it stands out. It's very prominent on this layout, and that is a-okay. I am going to move it away from the photograph, and you're going to see that in just a minute. I'm going to add some puffy stickers where I had that element. So we've got heart and enjoy and the sunglasses. Again, all those puffy stickers are coming from Pink Fresh Studios, except for the one that says good vibes. That came from Amy Tan. You'll also notice that I added my twine. So I have the twine going up on the top, cascading upward, um, vertically to the right, and then I put a little bit to the left of the photograph. I do not at all like that twine going up vertically. I just don't like it, but I'm going to live with it. I'm adding a few more splatters. I added some clear gold stars to tie in that circle that says if you're happy and you know it, and I think it made it work. So you can see I added those little stars all over the place. All right, my layout's complete, and I almost forgot. Be sure to check out the other ladies. Their links are listed below in the description box, and give us a thumbs up and keep coming back. See you next time. Bye.